for the ending, to take in all of this, it's really hard. And one thing it makes me feel is that we should just be doing stuff, not so much talking. But at just another level, I think it still is important to know how to process our emotions, because you cannot do a lot of effective activism if you are in like a freeze state, or you just have like a lot of unprocessed grief or anger, and then you just end up putting it with your other activists or on their shoulders. So that's not ideal either. One thing I've heard about, and I have not actually done it, but I am familiar with the concept, it's this climate cafe concept. And it's actually just creating this circle with this meeting with other people, which is just about sharing these emotional responses to climate chaos. So it's just really based on having a small group of people who just come to this space to basically lament and just feel all of their feelings on this topic of climate. And I think, it's quite helpful because during day to day, we just maybe read this one terrible, terrible news of like some wildfire or some species being on the brink of extinction, and we just have this sadness, and then we have to go on with our day and keep working and have very few spaces in which we can put it or process it and talk about it. So to just have this circle in which, you don't have to do anything else. You just have to listen to other people's being affected by this thing that you are affected by. It's actually quite helpful, I think. Robbie, have you ever been to a climate cafe?
I have not been to a climate cafe before. However, I would say that I'm part of the small group here in Timișoara, Climate Action Timișoara, and we've been dealing with fluctuating levels of energy, mental health, etc. And it's maybe mostly due to capitalism or the constraints imposed by capitalism rather than directly because of the horror of climate change. But we have done these kind of climate cafe-like meetings where we talked about where we are and how it's affecting us. And it's been very useful because generally, I think it's accurate for a lot of climate groups that more of the talk is about how to respond to something or how to act to do X, Y, Z action, but less about how we feel and how we feel in our bodies and how we feel about. And so, I have done this, but it was more like a capitalism cafe than a climate cafe.
I think it's, especially with climate and maybe other things that hold really intense emotions. And it's really important to do because people don't talk about this stuff. So what I've organized is with the queer vegan community, we've done a death cafe because people also do not talk about that. And that's really, really heavy stuff. But if you go to this space knowing it's just a space with other fellow people, it's not a therapy space and it's not an action space. So you're not supposed to be judging anyone or solving anything. It's just to hold these things together. And even if you talk about this really, really bad stuff, if you come to it with this expectation that you will listen to others and you will be listened to, it can be helpful. And it's not difficult to organize. Like anyone can do it. You can do it online. You can just find like one friend if you're anxious to organize stuff by yourself and just organize it online. Or if you have like a space that is, eco, climate, Antifa friendly, you could ask them. I think it's a good way to start putting it on like the map of things we talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you listen to the episode, maybe think about organizing a climate cafe and then tell us about it if you want, of course.
Yeah, and also if you don't want, you must also tell us about it.
Yeah, if it doesn't work for you, then tell us why you think it doesn't work for you.
Yeah, that's wiser. Okay, so that's it for today.
If you like our show, or if you don't, drop us a comment, but still subscribe to the channel.